Welcome back to the Boot Tragedies. It is game day, and the big question everybody wants to know is who's starting that quarterback? No one knows. I'm gonna guess it's gonna be Andy Dalton. Maybe it's gonna be Jameis Winston. Maybe it's gonna be Taysom Hill. No one knows. I think the Saints should keep it that way. I wouldn't release that information until maybe 30 minutes before the game. Make the Cardinals, game plan for three guys. It could be Winston, who brings different things than Dalton. Dalton, who brings different things than Taysom, and Taysom, who brings different things than Winston. So maybe all three options are up for grabs today. I have no idea who's going to start. So, hey, man, my guess is as good as yours on that one. We'll see when the information is released. I do want to touch on this injury report. Finally, not finally because that's bad, but a team is finally as injured, as the Saints. So we just kind of go through this list for the Saints. The people that's going to be guaranteed out: Michael Thomas, Jarvis Landry. Those guys are out. Two big receivers going to be out for us. Michael Thomas hasn't practiced in I don't know how long. Andres Pete, he's going to be out. I think had a strained pec. Adam Troutman with an ankle injury. That's good news actually for him. He's going to be out because that looked bad, non-contact injury. I believe there was his Achilles, so that's good. Marshawn Lattimore out again. I think that bruised kidney, abdomen. Not sure what it is 100%, but he's out as well. Then we got a couple guys that's questionable. Keith Kirkwood, he's questionable. Paulson Adebo, he's questionable. Kelvin Throckmorton, he's questionable. Peyton Turner, he's questionable. Andy Dalton and Jameis Winston are goals. Mark Ingram's a goal. Marcus Mayer's a goal as well. So that's a big injury list. A lot of guys questionable, a lot of guys out. But we'll look at the Cardinals injury list. And you got Marquise Brown. He's going to be out. That's a big-time receiver that they traded a first-round pick for. He's going to be out. James Conner, he didn't practice all week, but they have him listed as questionable. Starting linebacker Dennis Gordak, he's going to be out. Rodney Hudson, their starting center, he's going to be out. Their kicker's questionable. Their starting guard, Justin Pugh's going to be out. Backup running back Darrell Williams is going to be out. So, the Cardinals are pretty beat up too. The Saints are pretty beat up. So it's going to be a lot of guys being plugged in and play. And for the Saints, with that offensive line, for the Cardinals being so beat up on a short week, we have to take advantage of that. It's hard for me to really say, what I want to see offensively, just because I have no idea who's going to start. It's going to be Dalton, Winston, Taysom. What I do want to see is no matter who starts, Taysom, 15 snaps at quarterback. 15 snaps at quarterback. I don't care if it's 15 runs, 15 passes, 10 runs, 5 passes, 7 and 8, however you want to get to 15. I think he should have the ball in his hands at least 15 times. If you watched me a couple weeks ago, I said 8 to 10. I think he's earned that right to say 15 times, man. And if it continues to grow to 15 to 20, hey, so be it. But right now, I think he's our best thing on offense, so he needs to have the ball in his hands a lot more than he's had. Defensive line, they have to show up tonight. We just talked about how the Cardinals are injured on offense. That offensive line is beat up. Davenport, Onyemata, Shai Tuttle, Granderson, Cam Jordan, all of you guys, the guys I didn't mention, Roach, Street, everyone has to show up. Peyton Turner, if he plays, someone has to show up. Someone has to have a big game. We're going against Kyler Murray. We all know that the Saints cannot stop mobile quarterbacks. We saw what Mariota did to us. We just see what mobile quarterbacks do to us. Throughout the year. So we're going to have to key in on Kyler Murray. He's got Hopkins back, so that's going to be a weapon. We have to keep him in the pocket. Them defensive ends have to keep contained and also get pushed. Guys up front, in the middle, Tuttle and Onyemata, they have to get pushed up the middle. He's a small quarterback. The way you get to those small quarterbacks is up the middle. We all watch Drew Brees. You remember the Saints heavily invested in the centers and the guards when Drew Brees was there for a reason. Because when there's a quarterback's about 6 feet, you have to invest in that middle. So I would like to see a lot of stunts from Cam Jordan. Davenport, I would definitely like to see Davenport rushing up the middle a lot this game. A lot this game. A lot of stunts from Davenport. I need to see him abusing those guards, abusing those centers up the middle. That's what I want to see defensively. We'll see what the Dennis Allen game plans bring for that. But this defense has to show up. Obviously, Hopkins going to be back. They got Robbie Anderson now. They got Rondale Moore. They have weapons. They have fast guys. They got guys that can work underneath. They got Zach Ertz. That offense is good. It has a lot of weapons. They haven't been playing well, but it's a lot of weapons out there. So we're going to have to be on our P's and Q's. Man, that secondary is going to have to step up. Roby, you're going to need a much better game. Or Debo, you're going to need a much better game. Hopkins is going to be on one of those guys' side. Hey, and it's his first game back. He's going to be motivated. He's going to have an extra pep in his step. They have to be ready. They have to be ready. And on the opposite side, man, you got Robbie Anderson and Rondale Moore. That's not no slight coverages. We're going to have to be ready for it all, so I can't wait to see what the defense brings. Now I guess I can point out some individual guys that I'm expecting some things from. I already mentioned Davenport. Anyamata, hey, it's time to show up and show out. Shy Tuttle, it's time to show up and show out. Those two guys specifically, the defensive tackles, I need big games from them. We can stay on the defensive side of the ball. Pete Warner, hey, man, let's make some plays today. He's been playing solid all year. Those first 3 to 4 games, he was great. The last 2, he's been still good. I need him back to great. I need him back to being great. I'm not saying he's playing bad or anything before y'all start to, wild out in the comments. I'm just saying I want him to be great like he was those first 3 games. He's still been good. Like I said, he's still been good. Nothing wrong with how he's playing. But I need him to pop off my screen. I need him to be everywhere. Also, Tyrann Mathieu, I've said my piece on it. But you got to show up. You got to show up. I think this will be the game where if Tyrann Mathieu is going to do something, it's going to be tonight. Just remember, if he's gonna ever do something for us, it's gonna be tonight, because you got a guy that's gonna scramble out the pocket, that's gonna try to extend plays and make some plays, and that's when you guys just become football players. You're just making reads on the fly. You're not really in a set defense. So hopefully he's on the line of scrimmage, QB spy, things like that. Put him in a box and let's see what happens. Let's just leave Marcus May deep. I'm tired of seeing Tyrann deep. Put Tyrann in the box. Let him get on those tight ends, get on those running backs, spot a quarterback. Let him just roam around. That's the best position for him. When you try to put him in a box and make him play a set defense, that's just not his strength. That's just not his strength, so I don't want to see that. Offensively, Lewis Kidd's probably going to get the start at left guard from what it looks like, or Throckmorton. I'm not sure. He was questionable. Definitely going to be looking at that spot. Alvin Kamara, hey, get in the end zone today. We got to get in the end zone with Alvin Kamara. For sure, we got to get in the end zone with Alvin Kamara. Also, who's going to be the number 2 receiver today? It's going to be Traquan Smith. It's going to be Marquez Callaway. We'll have to look into that as well. It's going to be Rashid Shaheed. Definitely going to be looking for him. And last but not least, man, this coaching. Let's see some aggressiveness out this coaching staff. Like, it's time to put up or shut up. You cannot go 2-5 or your season is done. Let's just put it like that. It's not done, but damn well it might as well be done. You cannot go 2-5. We don't have our first round pick, in which I don't care because we got Chris Olave out of it. But we're not trying to give the Eagles a top 5 pick, because that's where it's headed. And we should not be headed there. This team is too talented. The coaches, hey, y'all need to be aggressive today. Send some blitzes. Go for it on some 4th downs. Take some chances on 1st down. Play action. Throw the ball deep. We got Olave now. We could put Rashid on the other side. You got 2 guys that can stretch the field on both sides of the ball. It should be a fun day for this offense. I don't care who's at quarterback. I don't care if I'm playing quarterback. We have enough weapons to get this job done. And as for score predictions, I do think this will be the defense coming out party. I think finally the defense shows up for the first time this year against an offense that's kind of been struggling but been putting up points as well sometimes. So you never know who you're going to get. But I think the defense shows up, holds the Cardinals to 14 points, and I think we win 28-14. That's going to be my score prediction. Hopefully it's somewhere in that ballpark. Hopefully I'm right. Man, hey, I can't wait. It's game day on a Thursday, so at least my Sundays don't get ruined. Maybe my Thursday will get ruined. We'll see, man. But thanks y'all for tuning in once again. As always, this is DaBoot Tragedies, and I'm out.